Hey, my name is Jonathan Katz, and today I'm here to talk about contributing to Postgres. So I got involved in Postgres, contributing to the community about 10 years ago. And I started by helping to organize local user group events in New York City. The reason why I wanted to be active in Postgres is I've been using the software for a while, probably to that date, at least 5 years. And I really like the spirit of open source in terms of, people are volunteering and giving software away. I think it's important to find ways to give back to the open source communities. And when I looked at the Postgres community and I saw that there were all these very talented engineers, I felt that my contribution could be more on the advocacy side and getting more people to use Postgres, provide more educational resources to help people get better at using Postgres. In addition to growing the local New York City user group, I helped organize a conference that was based in New York that eventually grew to be one of the largest Postgres conferences in the world. Through there, I found ways to get more active in the community. In addition to organizing various events, I also participated in events as well and spoke about topics that were specific in terms of how to use Postgres. So, for instance, how to use a range data type, or how do all the different indexes work in Postgres, or what are all the different data types and indexes. Topics that I felt were very useful for me in my world of application development. I also became involved in helping out with PG Web, which is the postgres.org website. In addition to providing patches and some general maintenance around it, I was involved in a project that helped redesign it, which was the first redesign of the website since 2005. In addition to the work on the website, I also help write the press releases every time there's a new release of Postgres. That's a lot of fun because for me, it offered a new challenge of really understanding what sort of mechanics of the database we're doing and trying to find ways to talk about it that would be applicable to how people are using Postgres. First off, I really love working with the community. There's some wonderful people I get to work with. Some of them are, amongst my best friends in the world. There's really this huge support amongst everyone. I think people understand that databases are challenging. Like, understanding how to manipulate data, how to store data is hard, let alone trying to build out a database that does all of that. So there's a lot of support. People definitely try to push you to. They really want you to be at your best. And being around people who really care about you and want you to do better was something that I really wanted to be a part of in open source. Additionally, I do love that general open source ethos, like giving back really good software to help people better their lives. Be it whether it's building out something in a large enterprise or starting a small project that could be your first foray into programming. The fact that software is both free and open is great. So the biggest challenge I find contributing is first finding enough time in the day to do everything that I want to do. And I think you see this amongst a lot of people contributing to Postgres is that everyone's very smart and talented. They have great ideas, and it's a matter of trying to get them all executed in time. The thing is, you find ways to get it done. I've always found ways to do that. I think, for me, another personal challenge was crafting, it happens every single time we do a Postgres release, is crafting the release notes and really making sure I can capture what's going on at the internal level of the database in a way that makes sense for, all different uses of Postgres, making sure that, I can capture the nuances for the more advanced and sophisticated users, and make sure newer users feel comfortable and understand what's going on and what's changing in the software. For me, it's a fun challenge, and I hope I'm continuing to improve upon it as I go along. In fact, trying to prepare the release notes, lately I've been diving more and more into the C code. And of course, there's a lot that you can analyze in terms of the Postgres code base. It's 1.1 million lines of C, and I can tell you that I've barely scratched the surface of it in many ways. But I feel that going through this process has gotten me over some of my initial, let's call it fears of, diving into this, very well established, very large code base and looking at it at digestible chunks. So, it's good because, facing some of my, some things that I found challenging at first, I feel like it's helping to make me, both a better Postgres user and really understand the software so much better. So what's amazed me about Postgres. I shouldn't say it surprises me, but it's amazed me is how many people are using it now. I still remember 5 years ago where I would be at tech user group meetings. Not necessarily a Postgres one, and I'd talk about Postgres, and people, the first question would be, "Well, what's Postgres?" That dynamic has totally shifted. I talk to people coming out of school now. When I ask them what database they're using, the answer is, well, Postgres. What else would I use? And it warms my heart to hear that because it's really a testament to the hard work of the community and now the name recognition that Postgres has. So Postgres, one of the biggest hurdles we used to have was the adoption problem, and that seems to be going away. People are starting new projects on Postgres. They're adopting Postgres. They're shifting their database workloads to Postgres. One of the things that we're going to have to look at is not so much the user adoption problem. And granted, there's definitely more people that can be using Postgres, but starting to look at the user retention problem, making sure we have the right features and support in the community to ensure people are happy with their Postgres experience and they want to stay with Postgres. So that I think that is, that does take a little bit of a shift of a mindset. But what you see from the hacker community, the people who are responsible for the development of Postgres, is that they do understand that. One reason why Postgres is very popular is because it's known for its security and stability, and that is an inherent not only feature but part of the ethos of the Postgres community. I think people understanding that their data is both safe and secure makes them want to stay with that platform because they have that trust, and that is a very important part of the Postgres community ethos, and I see that helping to drive the community forward. I think the other thing that we're starting to see more of, and I hope it continues, is just continued involvement in the community. I like to say Postgres is the big little community, that we have a lot of people using it, but we don't have as many people contributing to it as you might see in some other open source communities. I do see that changing. I see more people getting active. I see a lot of newer faces that I haven't seen at conferences before, and people who just want to step up and help out, whether it's on the software development side or the advocacy side. And I think it's great, and I hope we as a community continue to foster this culture and help get more people active, because what's made Postgres so popular is, not only is it a great piece of software, people know that it's supported. By us continuing to support it by bringing in new people and ensuring that we have a great talent pipeline for developing and building things out, will only help further grow the community. The first thing to do if you want to start contributing with Postgres is talk to someone who contributes to Postgres. And the thing with the Postgres community is everyone's very approachable. Well, the next question is, well, where do I find these people? Well, for one, they're very active on the Postgres mailing list, but also Postgres community events. If you go to the Postgres website and look at the events that have a little golden elephant next to them, that's a Postgres community event. And you'll find a lot of the contributors to the community there. And it's a great way to get involved and be more active. In fact, the reason I became active was I went to PGConf EU back in 2009, which was a Postgres community event, and was encouraged by the contributors there to get active, especially when I said how much I love Postgres. So Postgres also has a very strong mentorship community that you find when people are displaying that initiative that they want to get involved and active. Longtime community members will come and help them and guide them through the process, for whether it's getting a patch approved or helping to put an event together. You find that support and care. What's my favorite conference memory? Well, I've organized several conferences. I definitely have some great memories around that. But one of my favorite conference memories was actually not at a Postgres conference. It was on the way getting to a Postgres conference. One of the core team members, Magnus Hagander, is an avid sailor and has his own sailboat in Sweden. And en route to one of the conferences, we went out on the sailboat for a couple days in the Swedish archipelago. It was just so nice being on the water, cooking. He had me cooking in his little kitchen, and seeing the sights. I mean, it was perfect weather. The sun barely set, if you call that at all. And for me, that's one of my favorite memories around an event. I mean, I have many others as well, but that's definitely one that sticks out. Hey, thanks again for listening. I hope you consider contributing to the Postgres community. There's so many different ways you can help. I look forward to meeting you at the next Postgres event. I'm definitely planning on being at Postgres Open and PGConf EU this year, so maybe we'll get a chance to meet there.